What are some examples of when both the book and the adaptation were just bad? Quick disclaimer that this is obviously a very subjective opinion. I am just saying that I don't think that these books nor the adaptations were good in quality. Yet they were adapted, they have a big fan base, pretty much all of them have a pretty big fan base, but personally, I don't think any of these adaptations or the original source material were good. First up, we have one that I don't actually think anyone will find that controversial: 50 Shades of Grey. The book and the adaptation of this weren't good. I should note that for an adaptation, staying faithful to the source material of the book, 50 Shades of Grey, the film, wasn't that bad as an adaptation. As actual quality, though, both of them kind of sucked. 50 Shades of Grey did an absolutely brilliant job at completely misrepresenting what BDSM is. It did not know what it was actually trying to show. It explored this idea of kink through a very unsafe and uncomfortable way that essentially bled into their actual relationship. It affected everything they were going through. Christian Grey was incredibly possessive. He became like the dom in real life, which isn't really accurate to what BDSM can be. But it made it seem like this was kind of a given. It was the romanticization of everything that is wrong with men in media and the way that they can be depicted. He was possessive, he was jealous, he was violent, he was angry. He was so controlling in a way that felt unnatural and unfulfilling. I do have to give some stars to Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan because they really tried to play these characters to the best of their abilities. They made some sort of semblance of an actual genuine love story out of complete mush that was the book. And I know that a lot of women use this book to kind of like escape and to have these sort of fantasies in a safe way, and I do understand that. There are better books than this. So much better. Please go out and find them. This, bad. Another thing that I think was bad, the fifth wave. Both the book and the film felt like absolute boring white bread nothing to me. I think it's borderline impressive to make an apocalyptic story feel dull, and yet the fifth wave managed to do that, both in the book and the adaptation. The characters were so boring. They were either whining or they were just nothing. It wasn't enjoyable. The concept itself was like half-baked and kind of cool, but never really had enough follow-through to actually have the juice of it. I didn't really get what it was saying. It was almost like it was inspired by all of a dystopian media without actually having a message for itself. When you look at something like The Hunger Games, the height of dystopian media, the reason that had so much success was not because of the love story or because of the concept. It was because of what it represented. It was breaking down authoritarian rule. It was trying to show you the consequences of a world in which we actually do let this government come into power. The fifth wave had no clue what it was trying to say. It was just trying to be dystopian. Bad. Disliked it. The final one I can think of is going to upset a number of people. It's Divergent. I'm really sorry. I don't think Divergent's good. I again think this is similar to the fifth wave, in which it had this idea for dystopian and just built itself around this concept without really realizing what it was trying to say. It had no idea. Splitting yourself up by personalities, it didn't really make sense. If you thought about it a little too hard, the logistics of the world completely broke down. And then you could also tell that the author wasn't really sure where she wanted to go with the story. As the books went along, they got even weirder and made even less sense. The main reason people were sticking around was for the love story between Triss and Four. And spoiler alert, ending it the way she ended it was unforgivable. And I think, unfortunately, the movie suffered because of this. There wasn't really much they could improve on. Because the books were so kind of weak in their actual storytelling ability, the film trying to adapt that, there's only so much you can do. You can, like, put a paint of gold over a pile of shit. It's still gonna be a pile of shit. I will maintain that the main reason this film is beloved is because of the actors. Because the actors in it were genuinely incredible. The lineup they got for that film, phenomenal. I think all of them have gone on to do a lot better things. Great actors, really tried to salvage the material. The actual story, not good. Let me know what you guys think. If you think that there are other books that are just bad as well as the adaptations, let me know in the comments below. And remember, this is going to be the most controversial one. Please, no one actually fight. You can disagree. That's completely allowed.